Hello everyone, welcome back to InnoSkills. So let's solve another interesting question from linked list from Uber frequent 52 problem. So let's see what the question says and how we can approach to a problem. So today we are going to solve merge k sorted list. You are given an array of k linked list. Each linked list is sorted in ascending order. Merge all the linked list into one sorted linked list and return it. Right, so basically we are given k sorted list and we want to merge them into one sorted list. So if you remember in the previous video, we just had two lists and we merged them into one sorted list, and now in this case we have k sorted list and we want to merge them into one sorted list, right? So let's see how we can solve this problem. Okay, so we are given k list. In this case we have three lists, right? And we want to merge them. These are sorted in ascending order and we want to merge them into one sorted list, right? So the result should be one combined sorted list of all the k sorted lists, right? So what can be our first approach? So approach 1 is similar to the approach we discussed in merge two sorted lists, right? In which what we did, we traversed each of the list, we stored the content of each of the list into a list, and finally we sorted that list and we sorted the list, combined list of these elements, and now we created a new linked list, right? So let's see what we did. Okay, so what I am saying, I'll traverse the list 1, traverse the list 2 and traverse the list 2. I'll store the content of each list, 145 for list 1, 134 for list 2 and 26 for list 3, right? And after creating this list, I'll sort this list. The sorted content of the list will become this, and now from this sorted list I'll create a linked list, right? So what will be the time complexity and space complexity for this approach? Now what we are doing, let's say each of the list has n elements. In the worst case they can contain n elements, right? We are saying that we'll traverse each of the list. So how many lists are there? K lists are there and there are n elements in each of the lists. So we'll traverse each of the list and we'll create this list, right? After creating the list, this list will contain kn elements, right? This list will contain kn elements. Now what we did, we sorted this list. So sorting this kn element list will take kn log kn time. Okay, kn log kn time, right? And now again we'll traverse this list having kn elements and we'll create this linked list which will take kn time, right? So now the overall time complexity for this approach will be log kn, right? What will be the space complexity? The space complexity will be same as the total number of elements in all the k list, which is kn, because we are creating an array with kn elements, right? The space complexity will be k into n. So this is our very first approach, having time complexity as kn log kn and space complexity as kn. Okay, now what can be other approach? Let's discuss the second approach. So in the previous video, we discussed how we can merge two sorted lists. Let's say we have this list 1 sorted, this list 2 as sorted, and now we can combine this list into one sorted list in just how much time? The size of each of the list, that is n plus n, right? So now what we can do, we'll keep on combining two lists. How? We have three lists. First we'll combine list 1 and list 2 and we'll form one new list, right? So we'll combine list 1 and list 2 and we'll form one new list which will be 1, 1, 4 and 5. So this will be our combined list, right? So now after this, I have this list and I have this list. So after combining these two lists, I got this list as resultant list. Now this resultant list and list 3 will combine these two lists to get our resultant list, right? So how we can combine? Let me write the combined list. 1, 1, 2. So basically what we did, we had k list, we took first two lists, we combined these two lists into one list. then that combined list will be merged with the next list and will keep on doing the same thing, right? So now what will be the time complexity of this approach? Let's try to discuss that. So let's say we had some lists, right, of size n, list 1, list 2, list 3, list 4, list 5, list 6, and let's say we have k minus 1th list and we have kth list. This is first list, second list, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. What we are doing? We are taking these two lists, and we are combining these two lists into one list. So combining these two lists will take 2n time, n plus n time, right? Now what we are doing, after combining these two lists, I have this resultant list. I'll combine this list, I'll merge this list with the third list, and it will take 2n plus n time in worst case. So that will be 3n time, right? Now I have this 3n, I have a list with 3n elements, and now I'll combine this list with fourth list, which will take, right? So if you will see, when I'm combining two lists of n elements each, right, n element 1 list, n element 2 list, and when I combined these two lists, I took 2n number of operations, right? When I combined this 2n and n list, I took 3n number of operations, right? When I combined this 3n plus n number, 3n plus a list with n elements, I took 4n number of operation. So these operations are for combining these two lists, but the total operations we have done till this point will be 2n plus 3n plus 4n, right? Total operations till this point will be, first we combine two lists, then we'll combine the result of these two lists and n, right? Then we combine the result of these and this, right? So the total number of operations we have taken till this point will be 2n plus 3n plus 4n, right? Now what we'll do, after this we have this list having 4n elements and we have this list having n element. So we'll again merge these two lists, we'll take 5n operations, and we'll again do the same thing with this, we'll take 6n operations. So now when we are merging the sixth list, we are taking how much time? We are taking how many operations? 6n operation. So now when we'll be at k minus 1th list, we'll take how many operations? K minus 1 into n operation. And then finally when I'll merge this list with this last list having n elements, I'll take kn operations, right? So now to calculate the time complexity, what we can do, we'll keep on adding, because the final operations, because the total number of operations will be the time we have taken to merge all the list into the final list having k into n number of elements, right? So let's add them. So we have 2n plus 3n plus 4n plus 5n plus 6n so on plus k minus 1n, and last list will be of size kn, and the number of operations we took to create this list will be k into n. Now what we can do, we can take n as common, so we'll be left with 2 plus 3 plus 1 plus k, right? So now if you will see this series closely, it is nothing but the first k natural number, although 1 is not present in this list, but when we talk about worst case time complexity, it really doesn't matter, right? Okay, so now what we can do, we can simply solve this series. So it is n into k plus 1 divided by 2. So the worst case time complexity will be nk square, right? And how much space did we take, right? If you remember from the previous video, when we were merging two lists, when we were merging list 1 and list 2, we did not take any extra space. We were just modifying, we were just taking the same nodes and we were adding it to the new head, right? We were doing this. So similarly in this approach also, when we are merging these two lists, we did not take any extra space. We took the same nodes from both the lists. Again we have this 2n, we merged it with n, we took the same nodes from both the lists, so we did not take any extra space. That means the space complexity for this approach is going to be O of 1. Let's discuss approach 3. Okay, so in the question we are given an array of linked list, right? Array of linked list where in an array each index is holding the head of the linked list, right? So this is what is given in the question, right? Now what we can do, what we want the minimum value to be the first node of our resultant linked list. So what we can do, we can sort this array based on the value. So let's do it. Okay, so after sorting this array based on the value of the pointers holding this array, right? So we'll have the list like this after sorting, right? So now what we can do, we can maintain the dummy node, right? We can maintain the dummy node, which is result holding -1, right? This is our dummy node and our temp, right? Now what we can do, we have sorted this array into this. Now we can go to the 0th index, and we can see, we can take because we have sorted this array already, so we know the minimum value, the global minimum out of all the k list will be at 0th index, right? So we can go and we can take this 3 and we can add this 3 to our result list. So let's do it. We'll say add this 3 to temp.next. So we'll add this 3 to this, and now we can move our temp pointer to one position ahead, right? So temp will come at this point, and since we have already processed this 3, now we'll have to go to its next one, right? So what we'll do, now we have already processed 3, now we'll process 5, right? So now we'll process 5. Now again, if you will see the content of this array, if you will see the content of this array is not sorted. So we'll again sort it. So what will be the content after sorting it? Let's see. Okay, so we had this state of our array after processing this 3. Now we have again sorted our array. So after sorting, we got this one at the first position, and since it was 5, this will come to this position, right? So now after sorting, the state of our array became this. Now we'll again extract the minimum, global minimum, which is 3, right? We'll attach it to our temp. So let's do it. We'll attach it to temp.next 3, and we'll increment our pointer. We'll increment our temp pointer. So temp will come to this 3, and again this will go up, right? So now we'll process 4. We have already processed 3, right? So if you are seeing what we are doing, every time we are sorting this array of size k. So it will take k log k time, right? For first element, for fetching the first minimum, we sorted it. For fetching the second minimum, we again sorted it, right? So that means for every element, we are sorting our array of size k based on its value, right? So how many elements are there? If we have k list, each list may contain n number of elements. So we have nk elements, and we are taking k log k time for each element. That means the time complexity for this approach will be nk square log k, right? Nk square log k. And the space complexity will be O of 1, because this is the input given in the question. Right? And what we are doing, we are creating a result using the same nodes. So that means the space complexity will be O of n and the time complexity will be nk square log k. So now if you will closely observe this approach, what we are doing, every time we are fetching the minimum value. Every time we are fetching the minimum value, and for fetching the minimum value we are sorting the array again and again, right? So what we are doing, we are fetching the minimum value. Every time we are fetching the minimum value, and for fetching that minimum value we are sorting our array of size k every time, right? So we are taking k log k time for fetching every minimum element, right? So rather than doing this, we have one data structure that gives us minimum element or maximum element in just O of one time, right? So what is the data structure? We have heap, right? Min heap or max heap. In this situation we need minimum element. Every time we will be needing minimum element, but there might be a situation where you will be needing maximum element every time. So that in that case you can use max heap, but for our case we will be using min heap. So if you don't know about min heap or max heap, you can go to our playlist and you can watch and understand what the min heap and max heap is. I'll link the link of the playlist in the description box, and you can learn min heap and max heap from there, right? So let's see how we can proceed this problem with min heap. So let's say we have these k lists, right? Now these are sorted lists. So what we are saying, we'll create a min heap. We'll create a min heap for both of the list, right? So currently our list pointers are pointing to the first node. So we'll take the first node and we'll create the min heap. So how we can create a min heap? 1, 1 and 2, right? So now at this point, let me create one result variable. Let's say it's a dummy node, right? And this dummy node has one variable which is temp, right? So now what we can do, at this point the min heap is like this. So basically what we'll do, we'll traverse this array, and whatever this array will be holding the address of our first node, So we'll traverse this array and we'll create a min heap based on the content of these addresses, right? So we'll be getting 1, 1 and 2, right? Now what we can do, we know that because we have created a min heap, so minimum value will be at the top of the min heap. That means the root will be the minimum value. So we'll remove this value, and we'll append it to our result list. So it will be this, right? So okay, so what we are doing, first of all we traverse this array having k elements, and we created a min heap. So how much time did we take? K log k for creating this min heap. Basically each insertion and deletion, if we have k elements, we are taking k log k time. That means for one element we take log k time for inserting a element and for deleting a element, right? So now we have k elements in this array, so we took k log k time for creating this min heap, right? So now we deleted this node, so now it will get, we deleted this node and we added it to our result, right? So now what we'll do, after deleting this node, we'll move our pointer to the next value and we'll again increment our temp pointer to the next value, right? So at this point after deleting a node, if you know about min heap, you will know that this will get heapified, and the heapify process will run on the deleted min heap, and then the next value will be inserted, so which will be 4. So now this min heap is already in its correct form, the minimum value is at the top. So what we'll do, we'll again come to this, we'll again delete the minimum element and we'll again insert the minimum element to the result list into temp.next, right? So after doing this, again we have taken the minimum one, so minimum is this time this, right? So we'll again increment its pointer, we'll again increment our temp pointer, right? So now the min heap will become something like this. So we have 2 and 4, right? Now 3 came. So when 3 will come, again the state of the min heap will be checked. So now again the min heap is in its correct position, right? Correct state. 2 is at the top, which is the minimum. So again we'll delete 2. We'll insert 2 at this point and we'll increment our temp, right? And we'll increment our pointer. Perfect. So at this point we have 4 and 3. We have 4 and 3, right? And 6 will come. So when 6 will come, again the min heap state will be checked. So min heap is not in correct position, so the heapify process will get run, and now 3 will be at the top. So 3 will be at the top, 4 will be at this position. So again 3 will get deleted. So we'll insert 3 at the temp dot next. We'll increment the pointer, right? And we'll again increment the pointer of 3, right? Again the same process will be followed. 4 and 6, right? This 4 will get inserted. Again we'll follow the same approach. So this 4 will get deleted, 4 will be added to this point, right? And we'll increment the pointer, right? So same process will be followed for creating this resultant list, right? So what we did, we first of all traversed the array given. We created a min heap for all the k elements presented in the array, right? Now this array was holding the pointer, or I should say the address of the node. So based on the content of each of the address, we created a min heap, right? And after that what we are doing, every time we are accessing the min heap, we are popping the top element, which is the minimum element, we are adding it to our list, and then we are incrementing the corresponding pointer to the next pointer. Because we have already processed this one, we'll move the pointer one position ahead, and we'll again perform the same process, right? So let's discuss the time complexity. So what we were doing, first of all, we traverse the array having k elements. We created a min heap, right? So we took k log k time. Now for every nk element, what we are doing, we are popping or we are deleting the minimum element, right? Deleting a minimum element will take log k time, right? And again we are inserting its next element. Right? So it will again take log k time. So in total, how much time we are taking? K log k for creating min heap, and then for every nk elements we are doing this log k for deleting, log k for inserting. So it will be k log k plus it will be 2 log k. Let's ignore 2 in this case, right? So it will be 2 log k. So since 2 is constant and we are talking about worst case time complexity, so we can ignore it. So it will be nk log k. So the overall time complexity will be O of nk log k, and the space complexity will be constant, because we are not taking any space. We are just using the same nodes of the given list and we are appending them into a merged list, right? So the time complexity for this approach will be nk log k and the space complexity will be O of 1. Now let's try to code this. So first of all, we'll be needing a min heap. So let's create a min heap. Priority queue. We are creating a priority queue of list nodes. After creating a min heap, we'll traverse this array and we'll create a min heap, right? Min heap dot add will add each of the node, right? So list I. So now we have created a min heap having all the k head nodes, right? After doing this, we'll do some tasks until the min heap dot size will become 0, right? So if it is not equals to 0, we'll pop the minimum node. Okay, let's create one dummy node, list node dummy having content -1. Let's create one temporary pointer which will point to dummy node, right? Every time we are extracting the minimum node, we are basically appending it to temp.next. So we'll update temp.next with this minimum node. Let's move this temp to temp.next, and after this we'll do minimum node is equals to min node dot next. Now it might be possible that this is the last node we have processed in the list, right? So we'll check if it is not null, not equals to null, we'll again add it back to the min heap. So min heap dot add, right? And then finally after this we can return dummy dot next. Let's try to run this. Okay, so we need, it will be -1. Let's add brackets. So 1 1 2 3 4 4 5 6. Let's try to submit it. Okay, so basically it should not be null. So min heap if list I is not equals to null, we'll add it, right? And now it is accepted, right? So basically when we are creating our min heap, we'll have to check whether the head of that particular list is null or not. If it is not null, then only we'll be adding this to our min heap. So I hope you understood the whole process, how we can merge k sorted list into one sorted list, right? I hope you understood something new from this video. That's it for this video. Let's meet in another video with another interesting question. Till then, keep learning. Thank you.